Have you ever considered that your thoughts may be making you sick, depressed, anxious, or creating what it is that you don't want in your life? You see, your thoughts become your words and your words become your life. So I invite you just to take a moment here and just settle into your chair and become really present in your body and your spirit and your awareness. Because I'd like to share something that's very simple, yet profoundly transformational. And that is how you speak to yourself. You see, the most important voice in your life is not your parents, it's not your teachers, it's not your loved ones. It's the voice that echoes within you, that voice that never stops talking. I invite you over the next 3 days to talk to yourself consciously and purposefully. Most people are unaware of the chatter in our minds. And we think that's who we are. We think that our mind is the employer. And we start to feel and believe that the stories we're telling ourselves are true. You see, the problem is that this chatter in the mind, the stories that we tell ourselves, they will shape our reality. And it's not because they're true, it's because we believe them. So then the question would be, how do we speak to ourselves? Well, we want to speak to ourselves with absolute clarity. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves tangled in a web of conflicting desires. In one moment, we feel like we want to pursue a certain goal, and then the next moment we hesitate, doubting the result and fearing the consequences. This unwavering state of mind, it not only drains our energy, but it stops us being in action. So when our thoughts are scattered, our actions, they become half-hearted and our results remain, well, mediocre. I mean, imagine trying to sail a boat where the winds are constantly changing direction. You wouldn't get too far, would you? And in the same way, when our mind is indecisive and unclear, we struggle to make process. So true clarity, it has the power to cut through confusion like a sharp blade cutting through tangled vines. It literally liberates you from indecision and empowers you to move forward with purpose. So to achieve this, we must first observe our thoughts without attachment. Just notice what it is that you're thinking, how it is, what your narrative is to yourself or to the situation that you're in. Because most of us are unaware of the clutter in our minds because we're actually entangled in it. And this is the value being involved in a mastermind group, a mentorship group, or having a coach, is that they are stepping back and observing you from here. But I teach you in the Conscious Awakening program how to actually observe yourself from a place of subject to object. It's incredibly powerful. So when we are unaware, though, is that we start to mistake our thoughts for reality. We allow every passing thought and idea to control our actions. But you see, thoughts are only merely echoes of our past experiences. Our fears and desires, they're not the truth. That's your protective personality coming in, holding you safe, keeping you small. But we're not here to play safe. We're not here to be small. But when you recognize this and you can start to see your thoughts for what they are, you go, that's just a thought. Or that's just a feeling. It will pass. It will come and go. So when we learn to observe without attachment, the next step is to actually identify what truly matters to you. And this is one of our very first steps in the Conscious Awakening program, is that we connect to your passions, which is linked to your purpose. You see, your passions are like the pipeline from your soul. Right? Why it is that we're here. What you love is no accident. So when you connect to what am I passionate about now? What matters to me most now? When my life is ideal now? And that starts to really connect you to who you are, seated as the soulful self, without the protective personality stepping in and going, yeah, but you're not smart enough. You tried that before. Remember, that's for other people, not for you. We start to move that out of the way. We start to quieten that voice. We start to still it. And that when we connect to our passions, what we love and what matters, we start to come into alignment. with who we are. You see, we're designed and created for the soul to speak to the body, and the body wisdom to instruct the mind on what it needs to action on. But as I mentioned earlier, many of us can think that our mind is the employer, but it's really the employee. This might feel unfamiliar, and when we first start connecting to the body wisdom, our gut instinct, our intuition, really asking what matters to me now? How does that feel in my body when I step in action in alignment with that? Not what other people think you should do, societal norms, but what you want for you. You see, it requires honesty to step into and identify what truly matters to you. And so what we're doing is we're starting to peel away the layers of societal expectations, peer pressure, and tap into what it is that you genuinely want. Not what you think you want, it's what you want at the deepest level. Now, this may not come easily if you've never looked at it this way before. Clarity is a process. It's not just a switch that you flip, especially if you've been living on the expectations and to please others most of your life. And when you start to look and go, well, what do I want? Sometimes people say, I don't even know. I haven't even asked myself. And that's okay. Because I take you through a process where you start to peel these layers away. Clarity starts to come. Each time you question your intentions, you get a little more clear at identifying what matters to you. And then we create these intentions that you state with conviction. You state your desires clearly and affirmatively and without hesitation. I am healthy, fit, vital, and strong with a clear, sharp mind. I am adventurous, and I plan trips once a year or 3 times a year. I love my beautiful home overlooking the water. I am a transformational leader with a thriving practice, impacting thousands of lives across the globe. So we start to get clear. We create affirmations and we state them without hesitation and without ambiguity. So if you want success, we don't say, I hope to become successful one day. We say, I am committed to achieving success. If you want peace, we don't say, I wish a life that has less stress. I say, I choose peace no matter the circumstances. So the words you use, they shape your reality. So we start to become aware of how we feel when we state certain words. So the invitation over just the next 3 days is to notice when you're speaking in alignment with your intentions and when you're not speaking in alignment, and the distinction of how that feels. Because as you practice this and you become more aware of the mind's tendency to complicate things, you're going to notice it offers excuses and distractions and doubts. Your mind will tempt you to overanalyze every decision. And this is why simplicity is crucial to getting clarity. So what we do is we get some clarity on who I am in alignment with myself, who I am seated as a soulful self. And then we make a decision and commit to it fully. We don't let fear make the wrong choice or the fear of making the wrong choice stop you from moving forward. Clarity is about choosing a path and walking the path with purpose. And the more you practice checking in, how does that feel in my body? Open, expanded, yes. Even though I'm stepping into new territory, I'm expanding, it feels unfamiliar. Oh, gosh, it feels like the right thing to do. Fear pushes till vision pulls. So commit to speaking to yourself with this level of clarity. I invite you with this awareness to observe your thoughts, identify your desires, and commit to them with conviction. Let go of conflicting thoughts, doubts, and hesitation. Because when you achieve clarity within and then your actions follow with certainty. Your path will unfold with purpose. Now, in the Conscious Awakening program, we speak to this in more detail. But what we do is you want to have this when my life is ideal, I am. You create what's called your passion list. Top 5 passions. When my life is ideal, healthy, fit, vital, and strong, and I feel totally alive. When my life is ideal, I graciously accept and receive financial abundance. And then we always choose in favor of the passion. So if I am graciously accepting and receiving financial abundance, then I would choose in favor of financial abundance, meaning a marker would be, I am an excellent steward of my money. So we start to move through life not as a wanderer swayed by every passing word, but as creator, shaping your own destiny. So from the time you listen to this over the next 3 days, I invite you to choose to speak to yourself with unwavering positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or believing that everything is perfect. It means choosing a mindset that supports you versus harms you. So the truth is, life will always have its ups and downs. There will be moments of joy and moments of struggle. Most people live at the mercy of their circumstances. We feel that the world out there has a greater impact on us than the world in here. When we allow external events to dictate our internal state, what happens is that when something goes wrong, we start to spiral downwards. So when we choose to live as creator of our life, it means choosing a perspective that serves you rather than harms you. And the way you speak to yourself determines how you perceive the world. Literally, when you action out into the world, it's a reflection of how the energy is flowing in here. So if you constantly tell yourself things like this is too difficult or I'm not good enough, you start to create a reality of limitations and self-doubt. Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. But in the face of challenges, choose something like, I'm capable of finding a solution, or this is an opportunity for me to grow. And then we start to transform obstacles into stepping stones. We start to build what we call our bounce back muscle. We build better circuits in our body so that we use our wisdom and our inner knowing to guide us. This is how we awaken the healer within, is that clarity of who we are, living in alignment with who you are at your essence, and then always choosing in favor of that. And when we feel resistance, we come into the body and feel, where in my body does my mind go? Okay, there's an opportunity to build circuitry there, to release the energetic interferences of limiting beliefs and past traumas. So what happens is that we become more resilient, more adaptable, and empowered. So to do this, the first step is that we want to become aware of our negative narratives that are running in your mind. So many of these stories, they are so deeply ingrained, often stemming from past experiences, fears, and societal conditioning. So, for example, you might find yourself saying, well, I always fail at this. I suck at this. Or the last time I tried it, it was awful, so I'm not doing it again. Or you might start to think, well, people don't appreciate me, so why should I bother? These are not facts, but they're your interpretations that you've accepted as truth over time. So the first step to breaking this cycle is recognizing these thoughts as mere stories and not your reality. And once you are aware and you consciously replace the story with empowering ones, so say a thought arises of like, I can't do this, you counter with, I'm learning and growing every day. So if a situation feels overwhelming, simply remind yourself, right? I have overcome challenges before and I have the strength to do it again. Now, don't misunderstand me. This is not about blind optimism. It's about choosing a perspective that enables you to move forward rather than keeping you stuck. It's important to understand that positivity is not the absence of difficulty, but it's the refusal to be defeated by it. Because when we're faced with setbacks, rather than focusing on what went wrong, you focus on what you can learn. Every challenge, it carries a lesson. Every failure brings wisdom. And every ending holds the promise of a new beginning. So by speaking to yourself with this awareness, you shift from a victim mentality to a creator's mindset. In other words, you step into your life as creator of this space of I am responsible for my life. And you take responsibility for your life and your experiences. So during these next 3 days, I invite you to pay close attention to your internal dialogue. Notice how you react to difficulties, how you interpret criticism, how you view your own capabilities. You could even have a pen and paper and just every time you negative, just give yourself a little jot or stick a coin in a jar. Treat yourself later when you start to feel and experience this new expansion. Because how you interpret difficulties and criticism is how you view your own capabilities. Are you holding yourself small? Because we came here to thrive, not just survive. So anytime you catch yourself in a negative thought, a loop, pause. Consciously redirect it. Not this, this. I am capable. I've got this. It may feel unnatural at first because negativity, well, it's become a habit, right? It's become a habit for so many of us. But just as negativity is learned, so is positivity. And the more you practice it, the more natural it will become. So this practice is not about pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about building an inner environment where you trust yourself, you believe in yourself. You see things as opportunities, as growth. So again, for the next 3 days, focus on inner positivity. And at the end of the 3 days, notice the shift in your energy and your actions and your outcomes. Because when you change your inner dialogue, you change your world. All right, so I look forward to hearing how things shift for you over the next 3 days. Because when you change your thoughts, you change your life. When you change your thoughts, you change your energy. There is other elements of this. Today we're talking about the mind field. Next time we will talk about the energy field of the chakra system. How to remove energetic interferences so we can get you healing, your energy flowing. Get you sleeping well, feeling whole, complete, energized, and revitalized. And when we connect the body, the mind, and the soul, now we have brought ourselves into wholeness. Much love. Change your thoughts. Change your life. Change your reality.